Ochonogo, immediate past head of Department, Journalism and Media Studies, University of Port Harcourt. Dr. Ijoma Tobosia, Secretary, NUJ, River State. Dr. Sarah Joe, University Orator and Associate Dean, Faculty, Communication and Media, River State University, Port Harcourt. Dr. Ibiere Koki, Ignatius Aju University of Education, Rumolomini, Port Harcourt. Chief Host, Dr. Chinyere Igwe, Esquire, Chairman, Morrison Group. Date, Tuesday, 10th March 2026. Venue, Gate Place Hotel, Kilometer 5, East West Road, adjacent Obirikwere Flyover, Rumosi, Port Harcourt. Time, 10 a.m. For more information, please call Kainde Paul Obofadi, 081-063-41777 or Samuel Ajinwo at 090-454-00744. Signed, Management.
Welcome to Atlantic Television Network. My name is Ekpo Temple. On today's edition of Sports Extraordinary, we'll take a look at trending stories from the Niger Delta Games, and of course we'll look at some of the issues making round in sports. Not forgetting that the UEFA Champions League has been concluded. We'll look at that, and then we'll talk about some games to be played today in the second tier of club football in the Europa Cup, as well as the Conference League. Details of all of these and many more will be yours shortly. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back from that break. If you're just joining us, it's Sports Extraordinary on Atlantic Television Network, and Kinsley Emmanuel is here in the studio. Kinsley, it's a beautiful evening. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, Temple. Nice to be here.
Okay, so we'll start with the Niger Delta Games, and there's a breaking news just this hour that there are some technical issues that arose, and because of that, the football event. Okay, first off, we heard that Team Delta female just won gold in the 4x100 relay final with a time of 46.16 seconds. That was a sweeping performance from the athletes. And then we also heard that some persons are disappointed with the way that following the investigation into various protests, the lead football technical unit of the Niger Delta Ambassador Henry Abiodun have come to a conclusion, and these are the conclusion. Football female Delta gold, Ondo silver, and Edo bronze. For the male, Ondo gold, Bayelsa silver, and Imo bronze. It looks like there is some issues of those who are above the age and all that, professional players, and because of that has been rejected. So even if other states won, this is the final decision of the committee, and at the tail end of this competition, it looks like a lot of stuff is just going on, and I'm sure that it's fine that we're going to see this. And Edo, of course, also came in the finals, but they were also out now because of this decision, because defeated maybe some ineligible, athletes.
For me, I think at this point, we've been talking about this, I think, for like 2 days. Talking about those states, fitting in overage players, in the competition. I think for me, it's not a good one at all. It's not by they shouldn't do it, in win at all costs. All right, trying to do it now at this point in time because we must win this one. That's not the essence of the competition. The essence of the competition is to unearth talent, and if it's actually to unearth talent, it means the athletes between the age brackets, that is required for the competition are those that are supposed to participate, not, taking someone who is 25, 30 to go and compete in a competition where it is just expected that, let's say, athlete between the age of 15, to like 17 should compete, and you're bringing somebody who is much older. That means the essence of the competition has been defeated. It's all about, medal winning, and all of that. It is not to show, competition is not to show, superiority, or we're the best, in athletics, and all of that. It shouldn't be so. It should be about the athletes. How at the Niger Delta Games has come to an end. We'll be able to pick 5 good basketballers. We'll be able to pick 5 good 100 meters athletes. All right. We'll be able to pick let's say 5 good footballers that we can integrate into the MPFL, and all of that. These are things that we should be looking out for at this point in time. We shouldn't be even talking, maybe glorifying the medal table. Edo State are #1. They are doing so well. That is not even what should be the talking point. I think what we should be looking at for is that how many athletes have we been able to, of course, get, from the competition. Those that are scouting, how many have you scouted? The National Sports Commission, how many talents have you discovered? The Athletics Federation of Nigeria, how many talents have you discovered? The Basketball Federation of Nigeria, how many talents have you discovered in basketball? These are things, of course, we should look out for. And what are the platforms that these athletes, of course, will grow, at the end of the day? These are the things we should be talking about, and not saying that, looking at the fact that a particular state is feeding in overage players and nobody's talking about it because, they are the hosts. I think for me, it doesn't really show fairness. At this time, they look forward to see how to, take away this so that it doesn't spoil what Edo States, have done so far. If you look at it right from the start of the competition, Edo States, they've invested a whole lot in terms of organizing this one and making it one of the best. But if the issue of overage athlete now take over all what they've done, it's really going to be very disappointing. So for me, I think they should try and what is going to trash this issue and see how to project the main essence of the competition.
I see how to project the main essence of the competition, and that's how far. But we hear that they might, in the next edition, from 21, from 16 sports, shifted to 21. Tiako, the one who is the CEO of the games, is saying that, come on, they're going to push the number now from 16 to 21, which is also not bad because as it goes by, a lot of like canoeing was supposed to be part of this year's. Let us have taekwondo because the state do not have equipment. And I asked myself, how can state not have equipment and we belong to? I mean, we are all surrounded by rivers and we don't have equipment for canoeing or maybe to. So I don't understand. But to him, he's saying that we are going to push this tournament from 16 sports to 21 come next edition.
It's not a bad idea, all right? It's not a bad idea at all, but the ones we've been doing, the 16 sports that we've been, that the states have been participating in, how well and how far have we been able to, of course, manage that sports? What I mean how well and how far, how many talents? This is the second edition of the game, of the Niger Delta Games. How many talents have we discovered? The 16 first that you want to talk about adding another one, to it. These are the questions we should be asking. The last one was heading to you. How many was discovered? Where are they? What platforms are they, at this point in time to grow? So for me, adding other sports, I'm not against it. All right, but first of all, let's make use of the ones where we're participating in at this point in time. Let's see something better. If maybe at the end of the last edition of the tournament, they say, oh, at the end of the first edition of the Niger Delta Games, we're able to discover 10 athletes. And these 10 athletes will be given so platform to grow and nurture themselves and nurture their skill. Maybe scholarship, maybe being integrated into the Athletic Federation of Nigeria for them to cater, for the athletes and every other thing. We should be able to monitor all of this process. But at the end of the day, you're not done with the ones you're even doing. You've not even you've not put up a very impressive performance, on that, and you want to do another, bring on another one. I think for me, it's actually going to be very, very strenuous for me, because if we focus on the 16 and be able to do it very well, let the essence of the competition be achieved, which is etching talent, I think it will go a long way. At this point in time, I'm bringing in additional sport, of course, to be able to put up, something huge. So for me, like I mentioned, I'm not against it, but the ones we're doing, let's do it well before talking about bringing in, another sport into it.
Yes, a lot still happening, some news popping out, and we're just hoping that we are 21 hours now, 24 hours to the climax of this year's edition, and I'm thinking that we have not had any issue about welfare of athletes. That means, in terms of welfare, that area, it looks the games organizers are doing so well. If not, apart from the normal issues of, with that surround game, I'm thinking that since we have not heard much from complaints, even if there are just minute, it looks as though a lot of fundings was sent to the welfare of athletes. That's why Tepo also mentioned that they had to send them to Dahosa University, as the games village, so that all the athletes can stay close to their instructors and their coaches. Because what they did last time in Uyo was different stations. The athletes were elsewhere, the coaches were somewhere. They now have a place where all of them can stay, because the Dahosa University is bigger, and all of them can camp all of them.
Yeah, it's a good one. In terms of welfare, we've not really had much issues. Talking about camping, the camping has been top notch. The athletes have not complained of maybe they don't have enough bed to lie down, bed space, and all of that. I think we've not had all of that. I think for me, those states actually prepared very well. I got to report that they actually shared about 50 million naira to each of the states, before starting the competition. So you could see that the states have everything they need to make sure that they put up a very impressive performance. And another motivating factor is that the Edo State governor actually put up a prize tag of 20 million naira for the winner. I think 10 million naira, for runner-up at this point in time. Huge motivation. So if you look at it, I think it's been an impressive one. But in terms of welfare, I think we should just keep our fingers crossed, all right? Because I think this welfare thing normally comes up after the games. Because after the athletes are finished participating, we'll now know if they will be paid by their different states or not. After the games has ended, they will come back and start complaining, oh, we're not paid. Nothing was given to us, at the end of the day. So in terms of that welfare aspect, especially for the athletes, I think we should just wait and wait the end of the games, and then we'll see if the athletes, of course, will be giving their allowances, and all of that. So, but aside from that, I think the organization and the welfare package for the athletes, of course, they are really, really top notch. And I think Edo State really tried in terms of making sure that all the states have a very good atmosphere to compete.
Well, the states do have an atmosphere to compete, and with that now, we'll look at the preparation for the finals or the grand closing ceremony of this one, and that comes up. Is it about 48 hours or 24 hours?
24
hours. So hopefully we'll get to see how far. But we cannot stop with that. There's no we'll talk about the Niger games without mentioning Rivers State in the midst. And when I look at trends of stories, I don't even get to see Rivers in the blend. I see of still do more bronze. It doesn't look like
no. But now is just declining. All right. In the first edition, I think they even tried to finish. Was it top 5?
Yeah, 5, 5th.
Now they are. I'm not sure they're going to even finish in top 5. Maybe top 10. You know, so it's really a terrible situation. You know, for Team Rivers. You know, at this point in time, I would say somehow you attribute it to poor preparation. Like we talked about the other day, prior to the competition, you know, there was a little bit of political issues in the state. The commissioner was, you know, his position was taken. He now became the chairman of the planning local organizing committee for Team Rivers. And if you look at it, somehow there will be a little bit of twerking just to accommodate things, you know, and all of that. So at the end of the day, going in that kind of mood, the athletes might not be their best of form, you know, to compete. It's struggling in almost all the competitions. You talk about basketball, that they used to be the best. This time they came second. In boxing, most of their boxers decided not to go participate. I don't really know the reason, you know, at this point in time. So you could see that there's a little bit of lack of organization within the camp of Team Rivers, and that for me possibly would have, you know, resulted to this poor result, you know, at this point in time. So for me, it's really been a poor one. Rivers State used to be the best. You know, they used to come out top when it comes to competitions like this. But for the past 2 years now, you know, they've been struggling when they go for grassroots competitions like this, and it's not really a good one. I think the political crisis in the state has really affected sports in the past year as it stands. The sport administrators find it difficult to implement decisions, find it difficult to carry out, you know, the activities because of the issues, you know, that have been, you know, rocking the political system, you know, in the state. And somehow you could see it affecting, you know, sports, especially if you take a look at the Niger Delta Games. I think the last edition of the National Youth Games, they were not there.
Yeah, they weren't there.
All right. So you could see that sport has really been on the decline in the past 2-3 years now due to the political issues, and you could see that it's affecting the team at down there at the Niger Delta Games.
Truly, it's affecting the team, and we hope that this will be end up. But before we go on a short break, Kingsley, the World Athletics have come out to express that, come on, with all the rumors that we've heard, confirmation has been made via the Director of Communication that there's no formal notification that Favour Ashe has switched allegiance to Qatar. Yeah,
there's no formal notification. We've not seen anything on the social media pages of Favour Ashe. We've not seen any notification from Qatar that the man has.
So who is now flagging all those things? The pictures we saw him on Qatar.
That's another thing. It was on the jersey of Qatar. Taking pictures. So all those things are.
It's on the training routine of Qatar.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering how to balance all of this. Sometimes too, I don't know.
You know, for me, I think this switching of routine, it takes time and processes. All right, it's not an automatic thing.
So now that it has leaked out now, do you think that there will still be a part of this Nigerian system or funding or grant?
No, I don't think so. First of all, he has to be verified. If maybe the Athletic Federation of Nigeria still want to work with him, he has to be verified if he has maybe switched allegiance or not, because he might decide, you know, say, okay, I want to participate, and he has not officially tendered his file or whatever to the World Athletics to say this is where I will be representing now, no longer Nigeria. Maybe he's taking his time to observe things and closely working with Qatar to see how they can make things work out. Don't forget, there is still a current issue between Favour Philly and the Athletic Federation of Nigeria. They are saying that they will not release her to go participate for Turkey. That's the thing. So you have to be smart in terms of switching allegiance, because your host country can hold you back. Because they were the one funding you, they brought you to limelight. At this point, so you have to be very smart. Maybe the man is just trying to play his game, because even at when you still have to wait for 3 years.
Yeah.
permission to compete for the new country you've actually switched to. So this thing, come with process. I think Ashe is just monitoring things and looking for how to break the news very well to let everybody know that I have finally switched before he actually.
I just hope that because somehow when things happen like this, the Athletes Federation of Nigeria, the moment they get to know about this news, whether directly or indirectly, I think that a lot of reputational image damage. What we have done now is to maybe have a sit out with the guy or call him. What is going on? I mean, I'm not speaking for or against the Athletes Federation of Nigeria, but I'm thinking that these are the processes. You call these athletes and know what is the problem and get to hear from them, because it's not everybody that want to view that will end up on bad notes, like we know. Sour notes.
No. Usually the message is that the athletes are angry. They are not happy with the Athletes Federation of Nigeria. Even Toby and Musa today, if you call her, she's just happy with the Athletes Federation of Nigeria. The last time she came down to compete, I've forgotten the event, she came to, she was complaining of the jersey. She was complaining, see, this is what they are giving us to go participate, a whole Nigeria, and all of that. She was complaining. So for me, the athletes are not happy, and in the situation whereby they're not happy, they won't come and tell you, oh, see, I want to switch allegiance, so there's something I'm seeing in this other country. They won't say that. They will not do it because they don't find any. They can't find any reason why they should come and sit down with you and negotiate when you're not giving them what they want. What are they really asking for? Proper welfare. Make the allowance better. Standard facilities for them to train. Good administration. Is that too much to ask for? But they are still the Athletes Federation of Nigeria. They are not listening and they don't care. When it comes to time for competition, they just look for a way and prepare them anyhow, and they go out there and they fail. Nobody is happy to be in a losing team or in a losing side. I think Toby Amusan is happy that anytime she goes out to participate or compete for Nigeria, maybe she'll be the only athlete that comes back with medal. And at the end of the day, they say Team Nigeria went out for the Olympics and they came back with just one medal, or maybe 0 medal. They think they're happy. They're not happy. And when they look at themselves, they feel that, oh, we can do more, but the system is not helping us. So nobody will be happy to come and sit down at the round table and tell you, I want to. They will just leave. Just like we hear that others are still nursing the ambition to leave.
Yeah.
So for me, I think the Athletes Federation of Nigeria, when you see things like this, you step up. See how to bring this athlete back. See how to talk to them. Promise them things. Oh, we're going to do this. If this is the problem, we'll make sure this is being done. Make them feel at home. Or when they come back to participate, they look as if they're a stranger in their own house. You give them anything. You do not take care of them. So when they see their fellow athletes from other countries, they feel ashamed. And you expect them to be happy representing you, they will not be happy. That's the thing.
The Athletic Federation of Nigeria needs to do more to athletes are happy, they are internally motivated so that they can soar high. We're going to short break now. When we come back, we'll head to football activities in Europe. Don't go anywhere. This is Sports Extraordinary on Atlantic Television Network.
connection to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring all sport news.
welcome back from that break. If you're just joining us, it's still Sports Extraordinary here on Atlantic Television Network. I have Kingsley here, and Kingsley, it's time to talk football matters. The Super Falcons are in Cameroon preparing at the Omni Sports Arena against the Cameroonian, and this is time but a lot of us will still look at it like Cameroon is, I mean, just for the girls to get to know themselves. It's been a long time they played friendly games, but I'm just hoping that this can help them to gel too.
Yeah, I think it will, of course, you know, to gel. It's a two-legged friendly, so it's really going to go a long way to helping the girls, you know, to be able to have that chemistry. I take a look at the Super Falcons under coach Justin Madugu. They've been impressive. They won the last Women African Cup of Nations, you know, ahead of Morocco. This time around, of course, from what we've seen, I think they're also looking very much prepared. Madugu will want to, of course, you know, write him, you know, the history book, you know, once again, you know, and for me, I think the girls are highly prepared. We've seen some new names. Keith Monday, of course, is back into the team. The only thing is that Chizo Shola, of course, wasn't invited this time around, but we don't really, of course, know the reason, but maybe at the AFCON, she might, of course, you know, be there. So for me, I think it's a good one. Just fingers crossed and see how Justin Madugu will be able to do his magic once again.
Certainly, we'll keep our finger crossed on that one and see how far they will play. I mean, still will get encounter, so that Falcons can use that to beef up, you know, the tactics, see how far side. Away from that, let's talk about the UEFA Champions League. So finally, the playoffs have been concluded, Kingsley, and in Bergamo, at Bergamo yesterday, we saw what played out. I mean, if someone had asked me that, do you think Atlanta can overturn the two-goal lead from what I saw them play in the first leg at Signal Iduna Park, I would have said no. But it ended 4-1 on the night and 4-3 on aggregate. Yeah,
it was a good, you know, comeback, you know, for Atalanta in that sense. They had a good performance, you know, in the first game, but home, of course, confident, were able to fight back to put up that impressive performance, 4-1. You know, it ended in that particular one, and for me, it's good of a team we're even seeing Atalanta playing so well in the UEFA Champions League to see Italia talking about Lukman. So it's a good one. Then we'll just see how far, you know, they can go this time around. If you look at it, I think you talk about the Italian side. It's been difficult for them in Champions League this season. Juventus were ousted out yesterday by Galatasaray. What's his name? Bodo Glimt ousted out Inter Milan as well. So I think Atalanta are probably, I think they are the only side remaining when it comes to the Italian Serie A, you know, at this point in time. So it's a good one for them. We'll see how far, of course, they'll be able to go this time around in the competition.
And then the big game yesterday, Madrid played against Benfica. With all the noise we saw in the first encounter, Real Madrid were able to run out 2-1, and that man Vinicius Junior scored and still celebrated. But this time was not abused because he was in the front of his own fan. So what was the difference between the celebration he had last day?
What's the difference? The manager.
So he didn't incite the fans as alleged.
You know, I think we had more of Madrid fans, you know, at the stands. You know, that the last game was at Benfica, was in
certainly,
I think Portugal. All right, so you had more of Benfica fans in the stand. So you coming to score at their home and over celebrating is a pain to them. That's the thing. It's a painful one. So that's why you saw them reacted. But yesterday at the Santiago Bernabeu, we saw more of Real Madrid fans, you know, in the stands. So, you know, as such, a good one for Real Madrid. That a new manager, they've been able, of course, to skate through. But would this go all the way to win the title? You know, looking at the fact that the Champions League has always been a Madrid thing, I see it to be a difficult one for them this season. But you never can tell. It is Real Madrid. Sometimes they win when they're not even at their best. You know, so. Nobody should underrate them. I'm
afraid whenever they win with 1-0, 2-0, you know, and but let's see how tomorrow is the draws. But before we talk about that, Juventus did try to break Galatasaray, and I think painful if Galatasaray had lost that game.
True, it would have been very, very painful. Would have been very painful. Even when they were a man down, they were still playing as if they had their complete players, on the stand. They really dealt with Galatasaray yesterday, but thank God for Victor Osimhen and the other teammates who actually scored those goals, to even help them, qualify, as a start. It's a good one for Galatasaray, and this is the first time, the last time they qualified to the round of 16 of the UEFA League, I think it was 2014. That was the last time. So, with what they have done now, getting players, especially Victor Osimhen, they boosted the strength of the team, and now they now found themselves in the round of 16 again. But how go? That's another question, as it stands. We just hope that Osimhen will be able to create history for himself. If you can take them to the semi-final, that would be very, very massive, as it stands. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed and see how Galatasaray will.
How Galatasaray will navigate all of these. We hope to see how far they can move on. And we have a lot of games tonight in the Europa League and Europa Conference League. And a lot of person these days do not really focus much what is happening, because there are no teams moving from the tier, the Champions League. Do you think that has somehow affected the quality of club football in Europe? Because usually there is this fun when you know that there is this demotion from the Champions League to the UEFA Cup. You want to see how those teams will battle with the ones there. But these days, people care less what happens except those who are paper boys.
Yeah, definitely. They care less of what United in the Europa League and Chelsea in the Conference League. People were monitoring their performance, and all of that. But you take a look at the teams they play in these competitions. People do not really know them, so you can't be fooling something you don't really know much, as it stands. So that's why it looks as if there is no much hype, in the Europa League and the League.
All right, I wish we had more time, but I'm sure this is what we'll call it a wrap on today's edition of the show. Many thanks for being part of the conversation. We'll be back again tomorrow, same time for sports on Atlantic Television Network. Airport Temple is my name at the show with Nestle Emmanuel, and then let's meet again tomorrow morning. Certainly, I'll be back.
The management and staff of Morrison Media Group presents the 2026 anniversary celebration lecture of Morrison Media Group. Theme: Media's role in shaping social change, addressing inequities, and empowering voices. Chairman Alex Ndudi Enebele, FSM, President, Institute of Strategic Management of Nigeria, Chartered. Keynote speaker, Professor Armstrong Idachaba, Professor of Media and Broadcasting Communication. Panelist, Professor Chris Ochonogo, Immediate Past Head of Department, Journalism and Media Studies, University of Port Harcourt. Dr. Ijoma Tobosia, Secretary, NUJ, River State. Dr. Sarah Joe, University Orator and Associate Dean, Faculty of Communication and Media, River State University, Port Harcourt. Dr. Ibiere Koki, Ignatius Aju University of Education, Rumolomini, Port Harcourt. Chief Host, Dr. Chinyere Igwe, Esquire, Chairman, Morrison Group. Date: Tuesday, 10th March 2026. Venue: Gate Place Hotel, Kilometer 5, East West Road, adjacent Obirikwere Flyover, Rumosi, Port Harcourt. Time: 10 a.m. For more information, please call Kainde Paul Obofadi 081-063-41777 or Samuel Ajinwo at 090-454-00744. Signed, Management.